Hi everyone, welcome to the Brown People Project. And today I have a really interesting guest on our show, and that is Aditi Krishnan. And to tell you a little
Hello.
bit about Aditi Krishnan, she's actually a racer. I mean, that's quite interesting, right? So let's get to know her. Hi Aditi.
Hello.
Hi. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So Aditi, I mean, everybody's really interested to know like how you are a racer. I mean, so you're so young. How did you start racing? Tell us about it.
So my dad's a racer himself, and I've accompanied him to track days, where I was really fascinated, and I thought that racing was a really fun sport. I started to learn how to ride a scooter on track, and then I started to learn how to ride motorbikes on track. Then I started to attend his races, and I watched him race, which was really inspiring to me. So I think that's what really got me into the sport, and I just realized that racing can be such a fun sport, and I really wanted to try it out as well. So I think that's how I got into it.
So was your dad like really involved, and did he like encourage you, or how did it go when you told your dad that you want to race?
He was super encouraging and supporting. So were my grandmoms and my mom. So he's the one who basically taught me how to ride a scooter, a bike, and even taught me to race. So he was super excited, and so was I. And even now, whenever we go to track, me and him ride together, and he still coaches me. So yeah, I think they were all very happy and very excited, and my dad was very, very excited, especially.
So did you anticipate to really do well in racing, or it was just like a thing that you get fascinated because your dad was doing it? So how did that go?
Initially, I just wanted to learn how to ride a bike, and then it was more like I want to, go faster and faster. And initially, it was just for fun, so I just wanted to do it for fun. But then it was really weird. I think we were attending a track day, and this was within 5 or 6 months of me learning how to, ride a bike and like go a little faster. So within 5 or 6 months, we were at a track day, and then we got to know that there was this training program before a selection event that was going to be held for the Road to Rookies Cup. So we just thought that it would be a great idea to go get training. It was extra track time, extra coaching, and it would just really improve my skills. So we thought it's going to be great to just go for the training program. But then we ended up staying for the selection program, and I ended up getting selected, which was a big shock to everybody because I had been riding only for about 6 months. So we got selected, and then I started to race. And in my first ever race, I finished third. And then I think after that, I kept participating in more and more races. And now I really want to, my aim now is to be national champion someday. So I think it just kept increasing. The expectations kept increasing.
So at what age did you start? I mean, you said that you started quite early. I mean, you're in tenth grade right now,
Yeah.
right? So at what age did you start?
I started to learn how to ride a bike, learn how to ride a scooter at about 12. So a lot of my cousins and my friends already knew how to ride scooters and bikes, and I wanted to learn too. So since I was just 12 and I'm a minor, I don't have my license, and it's really dangerous to ride on the roads. My dad decided to take me to track, and I started to learn then. So when I was 13 or something, I started to learn how to ride bikes. And 13 and a half, 14, I'm not sure when exactly I took part in the races, and I've been racing for about 1.5 to 2 years now.
Okay. So you said that your dad is a racer. So how, like, I mean, how was his career and how did he do there? And did he like give you like, those warning signs saying that, okay, I'm telling you this, don't tell me later that, I didn't warn you, things like that.
So my dad started to race pretty late. He bought a super bike. I don't really exactly know know when, I think a long time ago. And he wanted to learn how to ride the superbike safely. So he went to track to learn how to ride the bike. But then he was really fascinated by all of that. And he, began to like going faster and faster and started attending more track days. So he became a racer, and he was also a software engineer at that time. And I think when he was 43, right now he's 45. So when he was 43, he took part in some of the races, and he was really working hard for them. And he finished first in a few of the races, and had podiums here and there. So that's how he went on. And this was really recent. His races were also recent. It wasn't that he was racing about 20 years ago or anything. He was also racing, 2, 3 years ago. And yeah, of course, he gives me tips here and there before the races. And we have a lot of arguments and everything regarding the racing.
So is he your biggest critique, or he's the one who actually encourages you even when you make like those smaller, maybe technical mistakes?
I think he's both. He's definitely encouraging, but he also picks out the mistakes, every single mistake. And but it's really fun to have him as a coach whenever I'm in the mood to push, and I'm like that proper student. And when he's the coach, it goes great. But the problem arises when I want to goof around, and if I want to goof around and he's the coach, we start having arguments. So he's not being a coach, and I'm like really serious and really into it. That's when the arguments arise. But otherwise, if both of us are really into it and both of us want to get something done that day, it goes on really smoothly.
So I know that you're called AK-47. Tell us, how did that come up?
So my initials are AK, and my racing number is 47. I took my racing number from my dad's. His was also 47, and his initials were also AK. So it was AK-47 and AK-47. So we just put it together, and just a few people call me AK-47 though.
So in terms of racing, what are the few things that you actually keep in mind when you start, like on an important day of race? Like let's say that today you have a race in like the next half an hour. What are the few things that you really keep in mind before you go there?
So I just try to stay calm, because races really freak me out, and I tend to panic a lot, especially during the race start. I think I just freak out a lot. So I just spend time with, my dad and my mom, and I try to calm down. I look at track maps and I go over the track with my dad. And he just, points out the mistakes that I, would be doing in the practice sessions and everything, and would advise me not to do anything like that, or not do anything too extreme or anything. So I think it's mostly me trying to stay calm, and me going through the track map and seeing what mistakes I was making earlier that day, or where I can improve. So it's mostly that.
So with this, how is your education working like? I mean, does it really affect your education, or you're able to just handle it all right?
So I think in 2019, this was when there was the Road to Rookies Cup and everything going on, and there was a lot of traveling for races and practice sessions. So I ended up missing out on a lot of school, and yeah, it did affect my grades. I went from getting A's to B's, which wasn't really good. But luckily for me, I had great friends and great teachers who were willing to help. They gave me notes, they explained topics repeatedly to me, which was really great, and I'm really thankful for the help. And it wasn't easy, but I managed to get back with A's. And in 2020, with the entire pandemic and everything, I didn't really attend any races. I stayed at home, and I kind of focused on studies in 10th grade. But right now boards got cancelled, so there's nothing much I've done in 2020 and 2021. But in 2021, I've attended a few races here and there, and it's going good so far. Studies haven't been such a big problem.
So which part of the countries, or outside the country, which countries have you actually traveled? Like, what are the places you've traveled? Which one's your favorite?
Just like that, like apart from racing.
Yeah, I mean, any, yeah, in general, yes.
I really don't know which one is my favorite, but I really like my trip to Thailand. I took a trip with my grandmom and my cousin. So it was a really fun trip, with all the, touching the Tiger Cubs experience, going in, aquariums and boats and everything. I think that was a really great experience for me.
Okay. So, in terms of the infrastructure for racing, do you think we have a lot of these race tracks in India, or they are very specific to Coimbatore and those places down south?
So in Bangalore, you don't really have any racing tracks, and I'm pretty sure in many other cities you don't have racing tracks. The most you have are go-karting tracks, which are pretty small. But you do have racing circuits in Coimbatore, in Chennai, in Delhi. There's Buddh International Circuit in Delhi. Those tracks are pretty great. But in the majority of the cities, you don't really have racing tracks.
So, I mean, I've seen some of the pictures of yours, like with the helmet on, and it looks really cool. So, do you get like that vibe of you being like, okay, I'm like super cool and on a super cool bike, and do you get that when you are on the bike?
I mean, definitely when I'm riding, sometimes it's just really fun. And, it's sometimes it's, about getting something done and like, doing something I'm scared of or, getting better at one corner or something. But sometimes it's also about just having fun and, just relaxing and just vibing. So those times are really fun. And I love, just with the cool kit, with the, suit, helmet, the nice sunset and the track. It's really, really nice.
So, besides racing, I mean, what are you planning to do in terms of your studies? Like, are you planning to do something, or you are going to professionally be racing as the main part of your life?
No, actually, I think racing is just a passion, and I really don't want to make it a profession. I'm currently in the 10th grade, and I really want to become, a cardiac surgeon someday. I want to take medicine, and my aim is to become a cardiac surgeon. So I'm going to see how that goes.
I mean, racing, you're doing a great job. I mean, why would you not want to do it ahead? Like, I mean, being a surgeon is great, but you're doing really well at a young age, right? So, why would you not want to look at racing like internationally, globally?
uh, I just don't want to mix passion with profession. It's really weird. I want to keep that as a hobby, something that I can take a break. I'm tired with work, and I just want to go relax and do racing. So I really want to keep that as a hobby, something that I can look forward to, and like not mix the two up.
So, how did you come to the idea of being a cardiac surgeon? Was there something that brought you there?
No, it's really weird. I mean, I've always wanted to, become a doctor for some reason, and I just thought that surgeon would be great. And the other day, me and my dad were having this conversation about, surgery and medicine and what I wanted to become when I grew up. So I was taking all of these, career counseling sessions and everything. And I remember my dad telling me that there was only one female cardiac surgeon in India, and that was news to me, and I really wanted to be a second or the next cardiac surgeon.
So, in terms of having a fan base, do you have like people coming up to you, like especially little kids, and saying that like I want to be a racer? So if that is the case, like people who are looking at you, what are the things that you will tell them in case if they want to take up racing as such?
um so far I haven't really had anyone come and tell me that. I think is because I don't think I've achieved so much, for me to have a fan base and everything. But I do have my friends and my family who are very supporting and, who, treat me like one. But other than that, if someone did approach me, I'd probably tell them to go for it and, give it their best. If they want to do it and if they can put their mind to it and work hard, then they will definitely achieve their goals.
So with racing as well, do you think it takes some sort of a fitness level in terms of maybe mentally or even physically for that matter? Because you have to stay really focused on the track. It's all about is it all about speed or is it about technique? How is it?
It's definitely about speed and technique, to be honest. And definitely, mental strength, physical, fitness plays a very, very important role in racing. So right now I'm trying to get fit as well, with a few home workouts here and there. We still haven't gone to the gyms because of the entire coronavirus pandemic. So I'm trying to stay at home and trying to work on my fitness as well. But yeah, it plays a very, very important role in racing.
So one thing, if you wanted to tell everyone watching the show, what would you like to tell them? Like, is there something that you really want them to know about you, or maybe tell them something that you would really believe that the audience should know?
Um, well, I just think that you can be whatever you want to be. As I said, you have a goal. If you put your mind to it and work hard, you will achieve it. And work hard every day and give it your best every day.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Aditi.
Thank
I
you
mean,
so much.
it was a pleasure having you here, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person, and
Definitely.
also your father, and get to learn something. I don't know to ride a bike. I'm a driver, but then I'm probably really going to be bad at that. But I'm going to definitely try and meet you guys soon.
We'd love to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.